Hello, this is Chris Flintoff from Not the Andrew Marr Show. We've been covering all the protests since October. If you want to see more of these, then please subscribe if you haven't already.
Can you smell that? It's revolution. The last time that the world came together like this is when we tried to abolish apartheid in South Africa, when we tried to abolish slavery. That's the last time the world really came together like this. There's never been a movement like this. Look at the American campuses right now on university campuses. Look at it. Unprecedented. We've never seen it before.
From the sea to the river, Palestine will live forever. From the sea to the river, Palestine will live forever. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. The river to the sea, Palestine will be free. The river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the sea to the river, Palestine will live forever.
The only time I feel unsafe on these marches is when we are up against aggressive Zionist counter-protesters. The only time I feel unsafe on these marches as a person who has survived rape is when I see violent counter-protesters who regularly send me death and rape threats, co-opting the memory of the Holocaust and co-opting the violence done against women in order to aid and abet a genocide. That is the only time that I feel unsafe. I do not feel unsafe when I stand in solidarity with everyone on these marches. We are not unsafe. We are welcomed, we are celebrated, and we are loved here. I wish we didn't have to march. I wish we weren't here 7 months in. I wish we weren't seeing mass graves being dug up. I wish we weren't seeing visions of Srebrenica 30 years on. But we are, and we're here, and we aren't going anywhere.
I am joining you today from America, and while I am ashamed to be American, I am so honored to be with all of you here today. And my voice as a Palestinian is to say today, the biggest lie they tell about us is that we are a people full of hate. Do we hate people for who they are? No, we love everybody. We hate occupation, we hate apartheid, we hate racism. We love, and as a Palestinian today, it's important for me to say that I love my Irish brothers and sisters, that I love my Lebanese brothers and sisters protecting the north of our country, that I love our Yemeni brothers and sisters who put a little toll plaza in the Red Sea, that I love our South African brothers and sisters who fought in the court of justice, and that we love the students in America standing up. And I say to them, as I say to all of you here today, I am very honored to be with all of you and my fellow enemies of the state. Yes, they might think that we are enemies of the state, but there is no shame in that. Martin Luther King was an enemy of the state. Malcolm X was an enemy of the state. Nelson Mandela was an enemy of the state. Cesar Chavez was an enemy of the state. The prophets Jesus and Muhammad were enemies of the state. There is no shame in saying who we are. We stand here today as the people who hold the truth. And that is what all of you share here today when you stand up for Palestine. This is not complicated. They try to tell you it's complicated, it is not. In Palestine, we have a city square named after Nelson Mandela. In Israel, they have a settlement named after Balfour. This is not complicated. There are separate roads for Arabs and Jews. When they march down the street, they say death to Arabs. When we march down the street, we say free, free Palestine. This is not complicated. And so our message as people around the world, and especially me, to Genocide Joe, in fact, let's let him hear it in London. Genocide Joe! Our message is that November is coming. You think you can scare us with Donald Trump? We have survived 75 years of genocidal Israel. 4 more years of that idiot Trump does not scare us at all. And our last message to Israel is that we are not going anywhere. They are trying to get rid of us today. They've been trying to get rid of us for 75 years. And we are not going anywhere. You meet Palestinians around here, they have 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. They drop bombs, we drop babies. So we are not going anywhere. You find a Palestinian back home, you tell him how many kids you have. He says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You say, how old are they? He says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are not going anywhere. The hospitals in Gaza today are full of our martyrs, but 9 months from now, they will be full of our mothers having more children.
Our next speaker has been on every single one of our national demonstrations over the last 7 months with one very simple message: not in our name. As a child, he survived the Holocaust in Budapest, Hungary. His experience of war and expulsion as a child led him to become a steadfast friend of the Palestinian people. We are so incredibly honoured to have him with us today, joined by 2 generations of his family. Please give the warmest possible welcome to Stephen Kapos.
Okay. My name is Stephen Kapos. I was 7 years old when the Holocaust reached my hometown, Budapest, Hungary. The German army marched in the spring of 1944, and suddenly all Jews like us were in mortal danger. Deportations were overseen by Adolf Eichmann, starting in the countryside, and soon 400,000 were deported to Auschwitz. 15 members of my own family were among them, and they all perished. My father was taken to Belsen and Theresienstadt, but eventually he did return. We all had to wear the yellow star and were concentrated into large yellow star-marked houses awaiting transportation. In response, we were sent into hiding with false names and papers into Swiss Red Cross-sponsored homes for Jewish children, pretending to be Gentiles and war refugees and war orphans. We were located near the Royal Castle area of Budapest, where the advancing front line, the fighting, swept through us. The devastation immediately around us was like it is today in Gaza. We Jews who survived all this pain, killings, humiliation and destruction are against the use of the memory of the Holocaust by the government of Israel as cover and justification for the ongoing genocide, and against the Palestinian people in Gaza and the West Bank. We are also against the conflation of simply being a Jew with automatic support for apartheid and genocidal Israel. It's untrue, incorrect, and a lie. And it is not anti-Semitic to oppose Israel. And we protest against the false claim that these great marches create no-go areas for Jews, that they are unsafe for Jews. We, Holocaust survivors and descendants, display who we are and know that the opposite is true, that we are always warmly welcomed and join the demonstrators time and again to prove it and to express our solidarity with the people of Palestine. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine.
As we gather here today, mass graves are being discovered. This is genocide, and it's being carried out in full sight of international leaders who have refused to shout stop. Ethnic cleansing is being implemented across Palestine. Palestinians in the West Bank are being brutalised and interned without trial. We in Ireland have deep empathy with the Palestinian people, born of that shared experience of colonialism and of occupation. Ireland's restrictions on food aid are pushing Gaza into famine, again something that has a deep resonance with the Irish people. Sinn Féin has demanded that the Irish government do more to hold Israel to account. Friends, Ireland knows conflict, but we equally know the value of hard-won peace. No conflict is intractable. Peace is always possible. And peace must now be the shared will of the international community. World leaders, especially the United States, face a choice: stand by international law, human rights and justice, or stand by the savagery of Israel. From this platform today, we demand an immediate ceasefire, an unconditional and complete ceasefire. We need to see an end to the genocide, the ethnic cleansing and the collective punishment of Palestinians. All hostages must be released immediately. All aid for Gaza must be delivered immediately. Israeli forces must withdraw from Gaza and from the West Bank. The resolution of conflict is in peace negotiations leading to that viable Palestinian state. So today, with one voice, we say to Israel, stop the slaughter. To leaders in the rest of the world, we say stop funding and stop arming Israel war machine. To our Palestinian friends, we say you are not alone. The bonds between Ireland and Palestine are unbreakable. Sinn Féin will continue to be a voice for you. We will seize every opportunity to speak up for you. Terence McSweeney, Sinn Féin Lord Mayor of Cork, who died in this city on hunger strike in 1920, said, "It's not those who can inflict the most, but those that can endure who will conquer." His words can be applied to the Palestinian people today. Gaza will endure. The West Bank will endure. Palestine will be free.
Teach the young. Teach them that Palestine is occupied, that it was our land, it is our land, the land where people coexisted peacefully. Teach them that it will only ever be called Palestine. Teach them that the Zionist regime is the most evil entity to exist. Teach them that there is no shame in resistance. Show them the honor in standing up for what's right, the beauty of humanity and unity. Our existence is our resistance, and we love life, so we'll rise hand in hand. We will not stop at just a ceasefire or when the West decides that there's peace. We will stop only when Zionism ceases to exist and we have a liberated Palestine.
As I look out here today on yet another Saturday, I am minded of Maya Angelou's poem, And Still I Rise. She writes, "You can cut me down, you can write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You can tread me in the very dirt, but still, like life, I rise." And here we are. They have lied about us, but our truth is stronger than their lies. Our love is stronger than their hate. Our solidarity is stronger than their division. And so we are still here. We are proof that you can cut down the flowers, but you cannot stop the spring. We are here for the people of Palestine. We are here for the people of Britain. We are here to show our solidarity. And we keep going. We keep going the same way the freed slaves and escaped slaves kept going to the north. We keep going the same way that gay people kept going, stealing kisses when it was illegal to be seen together. We keep going the same way that people in the Warsaw Ghetto kept going when they fought against the Nazis. We keep going the same way that refugees keep going when they try and get to this country, because in part we have no choice. That fighting is no guarantee of victory, but not fighting is guarantee of defeat. And so we keep going. And we will keep going because we have no choice. Because it is better, I think, to die on your feet than to live on your knees. And so we march. We march for freedom. We march for liberation. And when Martin Luther King said, the arc of justice is long, but it bends towards freedom, but it does not bend on its own. It bends because we make it bend. It bends because we are here, and we will keep on going.
She's fearless, she's unrelenting, and her voice is needed there now more than ever before. Please give the warmest welcome to Irish politician and member of the European Parliament, Clare Daly.
Well, what can I say? So this is what humanity looks like. And it is such an honor for all of us to be here today. This magnificent display of people power, an outstanding show of solidarity from every corner of this island, united in one voice, demanding an arms embargo and justice for Palestine. And yet, how utterly devastating the circumstances that bring us here. Over 200 days of a genocide openly declared and carried out. The most proportionately destructive war in history. War on a civilian population, bombed, tortured, starved, unspeakable cruelty carried out for 7 months. Well, we will not forget and we will not forgive. And the only reason this barbarism has continued, and the only reason it is continuing now, is that from day one, Israel has been supported and enabled by Butcher Biden, arm in arm with the European Union's Frau Genocide herself, and of course, your very own Sunak the Slaughterer. These are the ones drenched in the blood of dead Palestinians. These are the ones without whose complicity it could never have happened. Well, we are here today to say no more, it's over, you will not prevail. Because millions of people the world over can see you as exactly you are. Empire and the old colonial powers of Europe standing up for the Zionist selector colonial project, murder, plunder, exploitation, same as it ever was. But your time is up, because we stand with the majority of the world's population, with international law, with American students, with German protesters. You can try and repress us, but this is a sign of your weakness, not your strength. So in conclusion, we leave here demanding an arms embargo. And answer me this. How could Margaret Thatcher, the most pro-Israeli British Prime Minister, impose an arms embargo on Israel and Keir Starmer can't even call for it? My God, that man is complicit. So we say, like apartheid South Africa was dismantled by the people, not the politicians, so too apartheid Israel. Because they have done their worst. And yet Palestine lives, and we are only starting. So the great who appeared great because we are on our knees, well, we are off our knees now, and they don't look so great. And we will continue now and forever until Palestine is free.
I was born in the Gaza Strip. I came here as a refugee. Before I came to this march, I spoke to my family in the Gaza Strip, and they have another message for you. They're still strong, defiant, resilient. They will never give up their fight. As a British Palestinian, I suffered the injustice when I lived in the Gaza Strip, and I still suffer it here with this government, with this opposition which enabled this ongoing genocide in the Gaza Strip. Both Conservative government and the Labour Party are involved in this ongoing genocide. I decided to run for the Parliament simply to resist and to rebel against the Labour Party. Therefore, me and many other independent candidates are putting their name forward to defeat Labour in many, many seats across this country. Both of Labour and Conservatives are involved in the ongoing genocide in Gaza. We have to show them that we can get them out of the House of Commons soon in the next general election. Make sure next week in the mayor election to also vote against both Conservatives and Labour Party. We have many choices when we go on to cast our voices. Make sure not to vote for any of those parties. The Labour Party that we always vote for and we give our votes for granted is no longer the party we once believed in. It's an unprincipled party that is held hostage to the donors. And recently, one of the Labour donors is an individual and a company that supported apartheid in South Africa. Make sure in the next general election not to vote for Conservatives and not for the Labour Party. Thank you.
We are here today in our thousands once again, and we're going to be here many, many more times, of that I'm sure. It's very interesting that as the demonstrations grow all over the world, those who have no answer to the simple message that we put for a ceasefire and for peace instead resort to the tactics of oppression and suppression, of trying to ban demonstrations, ban marches, deny us the right to speak, deny us the right to organise. And when I saw a picture last night, which I picked up on social media, of a sniper on the roof of an American university while students are demonstrating for peace down below, my mind flashed back to Kent State, Ohio, during the protests against the Vietnam War, when students were shot dead by the US forces for having the temerity to speak up for peace for the Vietnamese people. And so too, all those students demonstrating across the USA and in universities all around the world. Our message to you today from Hyde Park is, we are with you. Thank you. And we're with all those academics that are threatened with losing their jobs because of their work of solidarity.
with the Palestinian people. But it is a solidarity with all of the Palestinian people. The people of Gaza, who are obviously suffering unbelievable levels of pain and agony at the present time, but it's also solidarity with those on the West Bank and all of those refugees in the refugee camps all around the neighbouring countries. I just conclude with this. Acronyms arise all the time when conflict breaks out. There's a new one now, and it's horrific. WCNSP. It means wounded children with no surviving parent. 34,000 dead in Gaza, 170,000 injured, more dying on the West Bank, and Britain is still supplying arms, still not calling for a unilateral ceasefire. The USA is still pouring the bombs in. So, our job is to keep speaking out, keep demanding peace, keep demanding a ceasefire, and come here again and again and again in demonstrations wherever it's necessary to bring about this peace. And I conclude with this, are a movement that has come about from all shades of opinion and all parts of this country and all other countries. We're a movement for global peace, for global justice, in opposition to the arms trade and the cynical decisions that are costing the lives of tens of thousands of Palestinians. Solidarity with the Palestinian people. Thank you, everyone, for being here today.
The vibe, just so calm, peaceful, the smiles, the happiness around, the feel of solidarity with everybody. You could tell it's genuine. It's a genuine feel here today.
Very peaceful, very nice atmosphere, you know, families, groups of friends, people chanting, people marching. Very nice, actually. Yeah, it's more like a big family day out.